What is going on, everybody? It's Great Scots here with another episode of the Grand Tacticians, the Civil War, Early Access Union Campaign here. And so we are in the thick of it. I kind of need to remind myself, and maybe you need to remind yourself as well. This is the tale of the tape, although that's usually a reference to the fight before it begins, and the fight has been joined. So anyways, this is a breakdown as to how things have gone. I briefly, when I loaded in here, I changed the leader of the Department of the West. It wasn't because he lost that one pointless battle and now has to fall all the way back to St. Louis. That's not his fault, but his leadership was just terrible. And I think he had 1 star or something like that. So I looked through my options. Sumner, should be able to see him. We're not gonna replace him, but much better. I mean, he has more fame. He has, I think, a little bit more initiative. This is Harney. Harney had him on. I'm sorry. So Harney had him on initiative. Yeah, we don't actually want to do that. But you can see when it comes to leadership, Sumner's got him beat. And so, you know, the initiative is okay. The administration is okay. They're not great, but they're certainly good enough. So I replaced them. I don't know if it'll matter. I do remember somewhere in one of the Grand Tacticians blog posts that they said the attributes of the commander kind of funnel down to their subordinates. And again, there were parts of Harney that were fine, but I don't want that low leadership to filter through the army. So that's the change up. Patterson here, not to be confused with Patterson, the fort I think he built. He's on the move. It looks like we're moving to try to engage the South Carolina militia. We'll see if we're able to do that. But once we press play here, that's where we're going to go. Let's see. That's a fort. That's an army. It's McClellan's army. I'm not too worried about the army of the Shenandoah. The only concern is that they can take cities and stuff. But I think I'd like them to march down on Raleigh. There were 2 CSA armies, about 4,000, and insignificant. And this army here, gotta find the extra. Okay, so it's McDowell. Alright, so he's going to Raleigh as well. I guess we can't even find out what this Hampton's division. I probably remember Hampton's division was pretty large. It still is. I'm not sure where they're going to go, but you know what? We're going to play, and we're going to see how it goes. I remember that I did send the navies out to do something last time, and I guess they're getting closer to that something. But I really don't want to lose my navies. More or less playing a little bit of defense with them. Alright. So this army is retreating, it looks like. British declare neutrality. They went up to 52% from 51%. Actually, I'm glad these newspapers came in, because I don't really remember where I stand. I know the finances were not good. Yeah, BBB plus and a 9.5% interest rate. We should be doing better. So I do have the opportunity for the Revenue Act. I'm going to take it. It's not going to win me a whole lot of friends. That's fine. This doesn't seem to have a downside, feeding Europe. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the trigger on that one. I'm going to see how the Revenue Act does. If it's all right, then I'll leave it as is. If I need to go to war bonds, I will. I don't know that this time around I feel I need to do the Military 2 Act. I feel like I'm okay. In terms of policies, it looks like we have 1 more free. And so if I spend it there, I can't spend it elsewhere, but I don't think I can spend them in chapter until I get to chapter 3. So it's kind of either use it On military, I don't feel like doing diplomacy at all. Again, just enough to keep the British out of it would be fine for me. Let's see if we finish falling back. We haven't. Alright, let's get back to our cruising speed here. Assume that this is a fort. Hey. I don't know why it's not showing up. Okay, now it shows up. I'm a little concerned that Hampton's division is going to stop on this fort and then take it. And I don't know why we just marched through. Ooh, wait. If we have a battle, I want to fight the battle. Alright, men of Texas, look to your arms and be ready for any emergency. The state of Missouri is almost subjugated. Okay. What? We're facing an army with no men and no guns. Okay. So, I'll set up. I will go out there and I will see if there's a real fight. I don't know if I've ever fought on this map before. I kind of like it. At least from the top view, but it's got... Oh, that wasn't water. The blue is a bit misleading. Maybe they've changed these maps a little bit, but it looks like we have woods, we have clearing, we have good amount of roads. All right. So, anyways, I'm gonna figure out what's going on here, and if there's a battle, we'll fight. So I don't know if there's all that much going here. This is a bit of I guess an interesting one is the way to phrase it. We came in here, the CSA came in right next to us. They're not anywhere else on the map that I can see. I'm wondering if they're supposed to have reinforcements. I checked the HQ report and it said there were only 400 CSA, so not that many. And so I only used 4 skirmishing groups because I figured I just didn't feel like doing much more than that. And I wanted to see if we had an actual fight here, and I guess the answer is kind of not really. So we'll send our 4 skirmishing groups out to skirmish with the Virginia Brigade. Yeah, who really has... They've already taken about 10% casualties. The rest of... I think this is McDowell's army. Yeah, I guess it is McDowell's army. They're slated... I don't know why the heck McDowell is moving backwards. Well, whatever. Yeah, that's fine. I don't think that's a major victory. Yeah, I see the message here on the bottom about training. I really gotta try this. And now it kind of makes sense. I guess administration really does matter. I mean, it matters for resupplying troops in multiple day battles, and I guess it also affects how well trained the troops are. So that's good to know. I wonder what army that was. Probably the Army of the Northwest, that one unit army. Yeah, it was. So there might be a battle here soon as McDowell's forces reach Raleigh. I don't think we need the Army or the Department of Ohio as well. Maybe Cable's army and the Army of the Shenandoah. I think there are juicier targets up here, so we're gonna stop McClellan from joining. So this is weird. I slowed down the map scroll speed on the battle map because it seemed way too fast, but now when I'm trying to use that scroll speed out here, it's way too slow. Alright, Patterson. Oh, we're only moving at 2 times speed. Alright, that might be why. It's a very, very good reason. Alright, I think we stopped McClellan, but we haven't moved them. I don't know if I can actually engage the army in Norfolk, because they look like they're still retreating. They're that flashing color. This army just disappeared. I'm not sure what that means. I don't think it means anything, really. I don't know why McDowell has stopped. Looks like South Carolina militia just withdrew. Yeah, I don't think I meant to do that. Well, I guess I did kind of know that was going to happen. Or should have suspected it. Alright, we have a battle to fight, so let's go ahead and fight it. Again, this can't be the same army. All right, I'm gonna set this up. If there's anything to show, you'll see it. All right, so it looks like there is something of a battle to be fought here. It showed no men and no guns, but in fact, there actually are men and actually, I don't know if there are any guns yet. But there's a force here, and so we have our skirmishers out and about, and they're going to try to engage this force. We're going to send these skirmishers definitely through the woods. No point in standing out in front of them. I don't really care if they do anything. I prefer that they just don't die. And we're moving the main force up to get in front of them. I don't see any other red arrows on this map for them to come in. Looks like they're just coming in from the south. So we'll speed it up. Eventually McDowell's line should be right about, where did I put it? Right about here, which kind of looks like the direction they're headed. Which makes me want to send these guys over here, because I don't really want them to come through this field yet. I do want them to come through the field, but I kind of want to get my artillery trained on them and then force them to come through the field toward me. That would seem to be better. They don't have any artillery to worry about, so they're just going to have to counter skirmish, or they're going to have to send their infantry, their mainline infantry, in against my skirmishers, which should be a pretty good trade for us. Uh-oh. I've had this happen to my... Well, I don't know what happened to them at all. What told you to fall back? Yeah, I've had this happen to my guys too. I guess there are two forces that are about equal range. I don't know if that's true or not. So here's a solution to getting flanked. Whoa, turn around. Okay, you go over there, you go over there. You go, I guess, over there. You face that way. 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 You face that way It is a little weird on 2 times speed. I almost feel like I'm playing Ultimate General here. Which I liked. I still like it. I don't have anything against it. But I feel like once I played this game, I've kind of become spoiled at the strategic level. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. This is this more trickeration? Oh, it's not trickeration, it's right there. It's just, it did not register on my HQ report. I mean, they have 2 guns. It's, you know, it is what it is. But they're still not registering, even though we saw them and got shot by them. It's not registering that there are 2 guns there. Maybe intelligence thought it was so insignificant that it wasn't worth reporting, but details matter. So, anyways, we'll continue our skirmish here. The Great Battle of Raleigh. Where on earth? You guys are still back here doing nothing? Well, I guess you're doing something, but... I mean, considering we're not getting creamed in the skirmish, we're actually doing, I mean, 62 to 200, we're actually doing pretty well. I'm going to continue it. I mean, if we start taking big losses, I'll fall back and I'll wait for the main line. I always got to remember to check their morale. I forget to do it. Sherman's detachment. I don't know. I kind of like the idea of having entrenched skirmishers, as maybe foolish as it seems or counterintuitive. Because I like to use skirmishers to try to delay, and sometimes my skirmishers have to take a pounding in order to delay the main force. I think if they can get cover, that's great. Switch them onto them. Maybe switch them onto them as well. They're already switched onto them. That's good. Should I get a better angle here? Clear up our flank a little bit. Wow, they got a lot working against them. Falling back under fire. It was bag. Unit is cut off. I guess that means they're out of range, but they're not actually, as far as I can tell, cut off. In the sense that they can't receive supply or communication. It's just delayed. Alright. Glad to see you guys have figured things out a bit, but don't rest on top of each other. And it looks like, famous last words, they're falling back. Louisiana batter's taking 5 casualties. Might be able to knock out another gun. Then again, they may just blast me. I have no idea. Come on, get up there. We're holding them in place. 300 to 115. Alright. That's good. That's alright. I don't know if you're actually getting good shots or not. I want you guys shooting at the packed infantry. Is anybody in range for you? I would move up. Move up. Alright, so it looks like we shot the Louisiana batteries into retreating. Louisiana battery with 2 2 guns. Let's not make it sound too impressive. It genuinely was not. Alright. Somehow this now become a major victory. 350 versus 126. Wait a minute. What is happening here? So Ewell's infantry sent a detachment out, I think, to man these guns. And you know, I think I read that they could do this, but they just weren't going to be that proficient, which is fine. I mean, if they want to stand there and improficiently fire cannon, like that is their command decision. But as you can see by the pile of bodies that is now collecting in and around those guns, it may not have been a great decision. The damage that 5 skirmishing units can do, and oh my goodness. Yeah, it's not good that these guys are giving up their flank to that cannon right in front of them. So if we can do that, we will. Everyone else is shooting into that. Ooh! Saw those 2 guys go down from Hancock's. So this is... I mean, I don't know what to make of this. And I have no idea where you guys are going. Oh, they're retreating from the Legion. Alright, that makes actually some sense. Yeah. No, what was weird, I don't know if you caught it, but when Ewell's detachment was firing those cannon, it had gone up to 3 guns. Right? When Louisiana Battery had it, it was 2 guns, and now it's 3. So, it's another one of those head scratchers, I guess. But alright, a win is a win. I still don't think that really qualifies as a major victory. I mean, think about some of the actual battles of the Civil War and stuff that qualified as major victories and defeats and so on. I mean, we're talking about thousands, tens of thousands of casualties. But then again, this is still, I think, spring of 1861, May 1861. So, in relative terms, it might be what they have. I did not notice these before. I also can't quite read them all. Mexico, Nicaragua, Cuba, Spain, France, and Britain. Okay. McClellan, I don't remember what I told you to do. I think it was to follow the army of the Shenandoah. Let's finish punching through Raleigh, make sure that we've ejected both those armies, and then we may put a fort on it. Because it's just one of the things I do. Alright, we're stuck in that auto-resolve. Alright. Have we finished retreating? Are we done? We still got 12,000 men and 42 guns. We got quite a bit. Missouri State Guard is here. I don't really care so much about them. This, I think, is the real... No, they're not going to show me the force, but... just gonna... 5,000 men and Fort... It's actually not that much bigger than the Missouri State Guard. Which actually has more artillery. Nonetheless... Well, maybe if that's the route they're gonna go, we'll just do that. I think this is the siege I can't fight. It says they're in siege combat. They're in siege combat. Yeah, and they're both on auto-resolve. So, they'll go how they go. I think it'd be cool if we could actually fight them. And again, I'm just having flashbacks to how Ultimate General Civil War does the 4 battles. I mean, something like that could presumably work on this game. I don't know why it couldn't or wouldn't. Devs have figured out a lot. I think they could get that too, and I think that would be a very nice addition to a game that's in the process of coming together. Oh, I know why we're not moving. Because we're not moving. Now we are. Alright, so we're through Raleigh. Looks like we've cleared them out. Wait. Yeah, I guess we have. Alright. Time to build a fort. Yes, we did pass a Revenue Act. Now I should see if my support's going to drop. Probably. I can't build a fort. Union sells cheap grain to Europe. You're welcome. That's the closest I've seen. Oh, that's... Darn it! I can't see. Okay, we're way up here. Let's go back to being way up here. That's pretty close. That's even closer. Alright, this'll do. So we'll have McDowell's force build a fort there at Raleigh. I want to see what shook out how down here. Okay. Do I care about this? I really don't. Really don't. I kind of want to put a fort here, though. Just by land. I know the seagoing portion is definitely falling in my favor, but... Ooh, that'll do. It should do, at least. So we'll get that up and running. I gotta change the scroll speed. I mean, it was too fast, and now it is too slow. I don't know if that's much better, but I also see we're getting lagged. Whoa, whoa, whoa. What are we doing here? Keep going. Keep going. This Army of the Potomac. They're moving. Yeah, I guess this is an avenue I did not build a fort. On the line, I guess, from Danville up to St. Petersburg. We may have to send somebody back up and recapture it. It's fine. Is Hampton's division coming for a fight? That would be great. Come on. You know, I guess that grain, I mean, it pushed it down 10%, right, from 52 to 42. Alright. It helps, but if they're not going to intervene till it's 100%, yeah, I guess you can do it. Alright, I'll see how ticked off my people are. National support didn't really decline that much. Finances? Well, we went up to AAA credit rating from BBB+. The interest rate dropped about a percentage point. Neither of those are bad things. Oh, okay, so now I see. So the surplus has changed. I was looking at expenses and I was like, huh. I thought it was 139 million before, but yeah, it's one more line down. So we're now up to surplus. Very good. And I might... Yeah, I'm okay with all of that. Whoa, where's our siege? Did they? Oh, South Carolina militia came up. Alright. Yeah, you wanna get involved? Sure. I would assume that we can send... Oh, he's gotta be sent to offensive. Well, I didn't even have to move him, I just had to set him to offensive. And he should be able to join that battle. I don't know, what are their numbers are paltry. I mean, they got 9 guns, but... Glorious victory at Morgan. Right. Wait, are we now withdrawing following our victory? Did we just win so much that we got sick of it? I don't know what they're doing. Don't matter. Augusta, I think it's time for a push. And whoa! Oh, okay. I guess now they're fine. So now Trebu's Corps is. Hold on. We need to slow things down here so the game can catch up here. All right. So we're gonna send Patterson back that way so he can get involved in that fight. Is it the only one? Yeah, it is the only one at the moment. We have 3 CSA armies out here. Now this could almost be an interesting fight. 12,000 men under McClellan. Army of the Shenandoah is here. Let's try to get them through that. Cable says 33. Army of the Northwest is basically a non-entity. I guess we bypass... Whoa! I guess we bypassed the Missouri State Guard. Okay, we are going to run into the... I'm going to try to set these guys to offensive just to make sure that they grab the engagement. And actually, you know... I switch them to defensive sometimes. If you watch other videos... I don't know if it's always a bug or if it's intended in the game mechanics. But sometimes when they're set to offensive, they don't actually... engage, and it makes it very frustrating. Hampton's division is falling back. I don't know if I want McDowell to pursue them. Yeah, I guess so. Why not? Pursue him to Wilmington. We'll see how things go over here. See if... Ooh! Can I actually fight it? That would be pretty good. $3,000 men and no guns. Okay, now you can see why the scroll speed, the scroll speed on the map is, like, this map is too, that's not bad. This is an interesting one. This is one I would love to defend on. Oh, okay, so I'm sorry. This blue is obviously not a river now. We have a ford here. All right, we got a ford there. It's still a good field to defend on. So I'm going to set her up. It looks like they're up here somewhere in the north. There's a ford there. Just one further south. So I'm going to get this set up. I'm going to march up and see if I can find anybody. And if there's a fight, again, you will see it. And then that will be the end of this video. Alright, so we found them. They're not where I thought they were. Alright, now that you're good and dizzy. I've never fought on this map. They say at the top it's the battlefield of the Battle of Morgan. I guess they're calling it that because it's one of the that's usually what they call the forts or Fort Morgans. But I don't know what map this is, where there's just a very thick forest and then a river down there. I've never fought on this. I didn't think that a new map pack was released, but I might have missed it. It's very possible. Anyways, a few things about this map in particular I noticed that seemed strange. First, the skirmisher glitch was gone. The skirmisher glitch, if you haven't watched earlier videos and you haven't played the game, the first time you move skirmishers on the old maps, wherever you click their destination, they would teleport to. On this one, that was not the case, which is good. But on the last map, it did work, but that was one of the older maps, I believe. What I also noticed is, so I was sending the main force, which actually, it says that Patterson has 19,000 men in total. I was sending them over here to line up in this field. I thought maybe there was a chance that they would cut across. I just feel like sometimes the AI likes to punk you like that. And so, even though they were holding this church, I thought they might come across and then come down. And plus, I wanted to get my guys moving in some direction. I didn't think sitting back here was a good idea. But as it turns out, of course, they're actually on the other side. And so, I issued the stop order, and I think they're still in the process of carrying it out. I don't think it's been carried out yet, because you can see that they're still moving. But when I gave the stop order to the army, the skirmisher stopped moving, because once I saw where their force was, I told the skirmishers to get over there, and I've subsequently reissued the order. But I've never had the skirmishers have de facto acted as automatically detached in the past, and they're this time they're acting as if they're not detached from the army, at least from the army-wide order. They were not. I haven't given them a new formation, and I'm kind of scared if they take one. Down here, it doesn't say they're detached, and so I'm a little concerned that when I give the army, once they finally stop moving and I give them new movement orders, I think I'm going to have them set up maybe here along this line, or I may just march them right into battle. It's hard to know where the enemy is going to stop. I have quite a few skirmishers coming in, but they're a ways out and they're going to come from behind, and so unless that pulls their main force back, they may continue to press on. I think I'm okay with that, though. Alright, so we have these two detachments. One is face to face, but Allen's detachment is firing into the rear of Jones's detachment. That's good for us. It's an engagement we should win. It looks like we've now halted, which is what I was hoping for. And this will be the test. When I reposition them, do the skirmishers follow? That's really not perfect, but it will have to do. And we'll confirm it, and I'll see if it has any effect whatsoever on skirmishers. I hope not, but I never know. So I think now that they are intelligently sending out more skirmishers, I think I'm actually going to pull these skirmishers back. And if they want to chase me, go ahead and chase me. I don't think they will. But that should... It won't slow down the advance much, admittedly. But I don't want these guys to rout. And so if their skirmishers want to follow me into the woods and off the roads, that's great. Because then they won't be there to cover if my main force, or when my main force shows up. Patterson's group. I don't know where the... So they're all going to backtrack and come up this road. Alright, well, you live and you learn. That's going to take a while, and I don't know how interesting it is to watch skirmishers. I mean, it's basically line infantry, it's just fewer in number. Not sure why I thought it would be a good idea to stop. That makes no sense. This engagement is fine. I'd actually rather get my guys in the woods and have them in the field than vice versa. I know Williams says he's confident, but you know, maybe it's true, maybe it isn't. That can get shooken pretty quickly. Yeah, but see, stable is never a good sign. Stable is the note that impending doom is. Yeah, see, now they've already gone to nervous. I can't tell if they're actually following orders. Hopefully they are. Those skirmishers are hot on their trail. Alright. If they're going to follow, let's just let them get pulled out of position. See, Jones's skirmishers did not. Ugh, and now they broke? Really? Because you took 10% casualties and you broke? Alright. It's Allen's detachment. Why don't I see anybody named Allen? Well, it's hard to see much of anything in there. Whatever. I wonder if we can rally. Alright, I think when the skirmishers get up here and the main line arrives, I'll go ahead and resume this. Alright, so it looks like we might have something of an engagement forming. My skirmishers haven't really been able to delay them very much at all, which I guess is... I mean, it is what it is, which is a nonsensical statement, but it's, you know, common. Their line, it's consisted of Alabama State Militia, more militia, more militia. They've just marched down this road. For whatever reason, they've stopped deploying skirmishers to counter skirmish with me, which I think was a huge mistake because they did well when they tried it before. And so I'm not sure why they would stop now, but they do appear to have stopped, at least for the time being. But my skirmishers also haven't been able to do much to them because they keep moving, even though my skirmishers have been on both sides of the road. So I guess we caught up to them in terms of casualties. They were doing well, but since they decided to just march down this road, I think they're just making a line for that victory point, and they weren't using skirmishers or anything else. And so my guys were hiding in woods and just shooting them in the flank as they marched by. If they weren't going to engage us, I figure, alright, well, free kills. So that's what we did. Now my skirmishers have kind of caught up with them because skirmishers do move faster than regular infantry. Even when that infantry is in line marching down a road, the skirmishers, at least in my experience, have always won that race. I forgot to take skirmishers out of a couple of units before, so they're showing up now. Did these guys finally stop? I think they finally stopped. These guys were supposed to go up here. You can see that's way too late now, and so they're kind of formed up here. I think at this point I'm just going to give individual orders to units. We can send them up the road. May not be the most efficient thing in the world, but that's just going to be the way it is. We don't need a formal battle line to deal with these guys, I don't think. And so they're each going to get their orders. The problem with this is that the commands may not move up, which is always one of my concerns, but we're going to have to deal with it. Honestly, we have so many skirmishers in there now, I doubt these line units are going to show up in time to make much of a difference at all. It'd be nice, but I'm not that optimistic. I've seen what these skirmishers can do. You've seen what these skirmishers can do if you've watched some of the other videos I've posted. But they just don't have the numbers overall to really deal with me, and the fact that the skirmishers now kind of have a surround on them. and we're largely in the woods, it's really not going to help them. Yeah, most of these are in pretty good places. I guess now that they're getting harassed, they're thinking about maybe moving into the woods here. It's alright. I mean, that's where I'm sending my guys, so... Even then, I don't know how much of a difference it's going to make. I'm trying to find out if I can take skirmishers specifically off of fire at will. And I don't see any ability to do it. The reason is that it's the age-old problem. This is not new. If you've watched this, if you play this, which is that for me, whenever skirmishers come into contact with a unit that they can hit, they stop and shoot at it. And if it's marching away from them, that means they shoot at it and they're not going to be able to shoot again until they march and catch up to it. Then they're going to be able to fire one shot. Then they're going to march and catch up to it. It's a little stupid. I mean, on their part. So I didn't see an option to take off fire at will. What I did see an option for on some skirmishing units was to change the range. And so my thought is maybe if I just tell them to only fire at short range, they can get really close, and then we can turn long range on, and we might be able to get maybe 2 or 3 rounds off before we have to run and go catch them again. I don't know that that works. I have no proof that that works. I'm just speculating that it might be a way to deal with that. So it looks like we're gonna send, all these 2 skirmishers after this infantry unit. We have actually really only one group up here because the other one's a command group, I think. And so I don't think they actually do any fighting. So we have more than enough skirmishers to take care of them. Probably too many, so I'm actually going to move this one down here. We'll put some rear fire into that group. Try to center those guys up. Come on, boys, you're told to move. You gotta move. It's not a do it when you want. Those guys, I guess I had tested it with and moved them to medium range. Now they'll move back to long range, hopefully. And then we just had one regular, line battle, I was gonna say. Yeah, guys, you gotta fire at them. And artillery. Yeah, this is my fault. I did not think that their infantry would just keep... I didn't think they'd break up. They were doing well at the beginning. I had a pretty high opinion of them. But now their infantry just seems to march right into my line infantry. Oops. No, you were right. I was trying to move the infantry unit. Which I'm still going to try to do. Let's see if I was right about the command units staying back. No, I think this is actually my fault. I did not move them all up. And so some of them are hanging back, but you can see, what is it called? Cadwallader? He actually moved up, because I think I moved up all of his units. But I don't think either of them should be back. You know, if the majority of their units are forward, it just doesn't make sense. Yeah, that unit's getting lit up. And they're getting canistered, so it's gonna be bad. You guys don't need to... Well, you can keep moving past. It doesn't really matter at this point. I think we're on cleanup. Looks like they routed those guys. I think the skirmishers have the surround up here. Yeah, that was, in the end, pretty good. I want to see just how things shake out, and I want to make sure that we also successfully load back to the map, because I've never fought on that map. I don't know if that makes it more or less prone to bugs, but we'll find out momentarily here. So the AI started off well in that battle. I mean, they were always outnumbered, and so I think when it came down to the mainline fight, it wasn't really going to matter. But tactically, their moves made sense early. advancing behind that skirmisher screen. But then they recalled their skirmishers, and that made no sense to me. I mean, even if their skirmishers were going to lose, better to have them screening than letting their main line get shot up while marching down the road. So I'm not sure about that call. Okay, looks like we loaded back in just fine. That's what I always like to see. I've seen no change in their national morale. My suspicion is that these numbers are not quite accurate, and that we'll have to kind of exit and reload in next time to see how things have kept up. I think the casualties is probably right. It's a little hard to believe, though, that with 36 battles fought, I have 2,400 casualties and they only have 1,100. Yeah, anyways, the men fielded, the ratio is probably more important than the exact number, though the men fielded might be correct, though. I'll see when I load back in and fire this thing up for the next episode. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this one. I think we got 3 battles into this video, and I think, you know, they were okay. So if you enjoyed it, I hope you come back and watch me and listen to me in the future. And until then,